Khatyn Memorial in Lahojsk district, Belarus. Khatyn was a village of 26 houses and 156 inhabitants in Belarus, in Lahoysk Raion, Minsk Region, 50 kilometers away from Minsk. On March 22, 1943, almost the entire population of the village was massacred by the Schutzmannschaft Battalion 118. The battalion was composed of Nazi collaborators and assisted by the Dirlewanger Waffen-SS Special Battalion. Khatyn Memorial. The Khatyn Memorial Complex is built on the former site of Khatyn village, and represents the many hundreds of homesteads destroyed in the Khatyn and similar massacres during World War II. In January 1966, the Central Committee of the Communist Party of Belarus built the memorial complex in memory of the hundreds of Belarusian villages destroyed by Nazis during this period, making it the most significant war memorial in Belarus. Part of the memorial is a cemetery of villages with 185 tombs. Each tomb symbolizes a particular village in Belarus that was torched along with its population. Among the foreign leaders who have visited the Khatyn Memorial during their time in office are Richard Nixon of the US, Fidel Castro of Cuba, Rajiv Gandhi of India, Yasser Arafat of the PLO, and Jiang Zemin of China. According to Norman Davies, the Khatyn massacre was deliberately exploited by the Soviet authorities to cover up the Khatyn massacre, and this was a major reason for erecting the memorial. It was done in order to cause confusion with Khatyn among foreign visitors. In 2004, the memorial was renovated. According to 2011 data, the memorial was in the top 10 of the most attended tourist sites in Belarus. To that year it was visited by 182,000 people. Sadly, the Khatyn massacre was not an unusual incident in Belarus during the Second World War. At least 5,295 Belarusian settlements were burned, destroyed by the Nazis, and some or all their inhabitants were killed as a punishment for collaboration with partisans. In the Vitebsk region 243 villages were burned down twice, 83 villages 3 times, and 22 villages were burned down 4 or more times. In the Minsk region 92 villages were burned down twice, 40 villages 3 times, 9 villages 4 times, and 6 villages 5 or more times. Altogether, over 2 million people were killed in Belarus during the 3 years of Nazi occupation, almost a quarter of the country's population. In memory of lives lost, each individual village destroyed is represented, and those that have been since repopulated are honored by their names in tree sculptures, representing new life and survival. Bells ring every 30 seconds to commemorate the rate at which Belarusian lives were lost throughout the duration of the war. Possibly the most affecting piece in the complex is the statue of Józef Kamiński, the only adult survivor of the Khatyn massacre. The 56-year-old was wounded, burned, and left for dead during the killings, but recovered consciousness after the executioners had left. The statue shows him holding the body of his young son in his arms. Like us and join us at Extreme Collections for more fun and knowledge.